Welcome to the Art Institute's podcast, presented by Art Institute's organization. This is the show where we celebrate the people and institutions shaping the future of art education and creative industries. Whether you're leading an art institute, teaching the next generation, or managing a cultural space, you're in the right place. So let's get started. As always, this podcast episode is based on our previous newsletter article. If you haven't read the article, head over to news.artinstitutes.org to check it out. In today's episode, we're discussing art institutes as incubators, supporting artists' careers and generating sustainable income. We're going to talk about a shift that is happening right now in the world of creative education. It is a shift that needs to happen if we want to see artists thrive in the modern world. For a long time, an art institute was seen simply as a place to learn a craft. You went there to learn how to paint, how to sculpt, or how to design. And that was it. Once you graduated, you were on your own. But the creative economy we live in today is complex. It is fast, and it can be unforgiving. Because of this, art institutes can no longer just be centers of artistic learning. They must become incubators as well. They need to be mentors and launchpads for professional careers. So what does that actually look like in practice? How do we take a traditional art school and turn it into an engine for career success in the art industry and beyond? Let's look at this from two main angles. First, there is the artist who wants to build a career inside an organization. And second, there's the artist who wants to be an entrepreneur. An art institute needs to support both. When we talk about careers within organizations, we have to get specific. We can't just teach general art history and hope for the best. Art institutes can help students by offering clear tracks that mirror the real world. Think about roles like arts administration, museum studies, or art conservation. Think about the practical skills needed for gallery operations or art handling. These are real jobs that need real training. By offering certificates or short intensive courses in these specific areas, an art institute tells its students that there is a place for them in the workforce. It is also about partnerships. We need to move beyond the traditional internship where a student might just grab coffee or file papers. We need project-based placements. Imagine a student working on a real exhibition or helping to manage a digital collection for a local museum. That is how you build a portfolio that gets you hired. Ultimately, the goal is for the Art Institute to become a talent pipeline. Museums and design firms are often desperate for skilled workers who can hit the ground running from day one and contribute. If an institute creates a vetted database of alumni who are ready to work, they become the first place employers look. That's a win for the student, and it's a massive win for the reputation of the school. Now let's look at the other side of the coin, the entrepreneur. The reality is that many artists will end up working for themselves. But how many of them actually know how to run a business? This is where the incubator model really shines. We need to treat artists like startup founders. This means teaching them the things that are usually left out of art school, things like pricing, marketing, and taxes. We need to teach them how to handle contracts and how to protect their intellectual property. These skills are not optional anymore. They are essential for survival. Art institutes can even set up physical hubs for this. Imagine a space on campus that functions like a business lab, a place where an artist can go to get advice on a business plan or find a template for a contract. Maybe it's a space where they can photograph their work professionally or learn how to set up an online store. This brings up a very important point about income. The myth of the starving artist is dangerous. We need to teach artists that sustainable wealth comes from having multiple streams of income. It is not just about selling one big painting a year. It's about commissions. It's about teaching workshops. It's about licensing designs for products or selling digital assets. When an art institute teaches an artist how to diversify, They are teaching that artist how to be resilient. Another way art institutes can act as incubators is through their facilities. Art schools often have incredible equipment that sits unused for half the day. Why not open that up? Think about residency programs. A residency is a beautiful exchange. The artist gets space and time to create, and the institute gets the energy and inspiration that the artist brings. But we can go further. We can create incubation programs. Imagine a 6-month cohort where artists receive mentorship from successful entrepreneurs. They get access to production facilities and maybe even a small grant to get a project off the ground. At the end, they could have a demo day to show their work to potential partners or investors. This turns the school into a true launch vehicle. We also have to talk about technology. The tools of the trade are changing. We have 3D printers, laser cutters, and virtual reality tools. Artists need access to these maker spaces to prototype ideas and expand their skills. And we can't ignore artificial intelligence. Instead of fearing it, art institutes can teach artists how to use these new tools for ideation or digital asset creation. Understanding things like immersive media or blockchain technology can open up doors that traditional programs might overlook. Finally, let's talk about how this benefits the Art Institute itself. This is not just charity, it's a sustainable business model. When an institute supports its alumni, it opens up revenue streams. Think about a campus gallery that operates with a shared revenue model. The gallery sells work from alumni, and the profit is split. Or perhaps the institute collaborates with artists to create branded merchandise like high-quality prints, apparel, or stationery. Art institutes can also offer continuing education classes taught by their own alumni. This gives the artist a paycheck and teaching experience while bringing revenue back to the school. Even renting out unused studio space or photography labs to the public can generate income while keeping the facilities active and vibrant. So here's the bottom line. When an art institute positions itself as an incubator, everyone wins. The artists get the support, the business skills, and the network they need to survive in a tough economy. The Art Institute builds a rock-solid reputation, attracts better talent, and creates new sources of revenue. It's time to stop thinking of art school as a 4-year bubble. It needs to be a lifelong partner in the artist's journey. That is the new standard. That is how we build a creative economy that actually works for the creators. Thanks for listening to the Art Institute's podcast. This episode has been brought to you by Art8, Webinars for Creatives. Share your artistic passions, sell your art, learn new skills, and build your tribe with live or on-demand expert webinars. Learn more at art8.net. And by RTAG. Start making permanent connections with your museum and gallery visitors with smart souvenir coins. Here's how to stay connected to Art Institutes. First, subscribe to the Art Institute's podcast so you never miss an episode. Next, sign up for our popular newsletter at news.artinstitutes.org. Together, we're not just supporting the art world, we're redefining it. Thanks for tuning in to the Art Institute's podcast. Remember, art doesn't just happen. Its foundation is built by institutions and individuals like you. So keep creating, keep leading, and we'll see you next time on the Art Institute's podcast.